If you are planning a kitchen remodel, you have probably spent hours looking at countertop options and feeling overwhelmed by how many choices there are today. Here's the problem: some of the most beautiful countertop materials on the market are terrible choices if you use your kitchen every single day. And some of the materials you might overlook are some of the smartest investments you can make. Today, I am ranking 10 countertop materials from worst to best based on 4 critical factors: durability measured by the Mohs hardness scale, stain resistance, heat tolerance, and something most videos never talk about, which is whether you can repair the surface when life happens. Because life always happens. And of course, we will talk about cost, because your countertop is only one part of your kitchen budget, and it should not eat up the whole thing at the expense of your cabinets, appliances, and flooring. Let me quickly explain those 4 factors so we are on the same page. For durability, I am using the Mohs hardness scale, which measures how resistant a material is to scratching, from 1, which is the softest, to 10, which is diamond. Stain resistance depends largely on porosity, how easily liquids can penetrate the surface. Heat tolerance tells you whether a hot pan will leave a permanent mark. And repairability is about what happens when something goes wrong, because no countertop is indestructible. Some materials can be sanded, buffed, and restored. Others, once damaged, are damaged for good. I know many of you have lived with several of these materials over the years. Some of you have had 5 or 6 different countertops in your lifetime, so I would hear your experience in the comments. There is nothing like 20 years of daily use to know how a countertop truly holds up. And remember, the right countertop choice can significantly impact your home resale value, making this decision even more important. Let us get into it. Onyx, stunning to look at, stressful to live with. Onyx is one of the most visually striking countertop materials you can find. When backlit, the effect is absolutely gorgeous. But in a working kitchen, onyx is not practical. A quick note on terminology, because this causes confusion. The banded calcite variety, commonly sold at stone yards for countertops, rates about 3 to 4 on the Mohs hardness scale and is quite soft and very porous. True mineral onyx, which is silica-based, rates between 6.5 and 7, but that is not what you will find being sold as countertop slabs. So when we talk about onyx countertops, we mean the softer calcite variety. It absorbs liquids quickly, has poor heat tolerance, and acidic foods like lemon juice can etch the surface permanently. It scratches, it stains, and because onyx is one of the most expensive natural stones, every bit of damage stings even more. If you love the look, use it for a feature wall or powder room vanity. But as a working kitchen countertop, it belongs at the bottom. Limestone. Beautiful warmth, brutal upkeep. Limestone gives a kitchen that warm European farmhouse feeling many people find appealing. But the reality is harsh. It rates about 3 to 5 on the Mohs scale depending on the variety, with most countertop limestone sitting on the softer end. It is extremely porous, absorbs spills almost instantly, and is unreliable with heat. Thermal shock and discoloration are real risks. The maintenance is relentless. It scratches, it stains, and the damage is difficult and expensive to restore. If you love that warm stone aesthetic, a honed finished quartzite or matte porcelain slab will give you a similar look with far better durability, saving you years of frustration. Marble, the classic everyone loves and worries about. Marble is the most debated countertop material there is. Everyone loves Carrara and Calicotta, and for good reason. It is timeless, elegant, and there is a visual depth that is genuinely hard to replicate. But marble ranges from about 3 to 5 on the Mohs hardness scale depending on its mineral composition. A slab with higher calcite content will be softer, while others with more dolomite can be somewhat harder. It etches from acids, requires periodic sealing, and handles moderate heat around 350 to 480 degrees Fahrenheit, though going higher risks discoloration or thermal shock. Here is the honest conversation. If every water ring and mark will bother you, marble will cause stress. But many homeowners who have had marble for years say they love the patina it develops. They see it as character, not damage. It comes down to your personality. Premium. Marble runs well over $100 per square foot, with Calicotta reaching $200 or more. If you appreciate how natural stone ages gracefully, marble can be a beautiful choice. Just go in with your eyes open and a supply of trivets on hand. If you want a surface that looks the same in year 10 as day 1, keep watching. Tile, the old favorite with one fatal flaw. Tile countertops are tricky because porcelain tile itself is excellent, with a hardness of 7 and firing temperatures well over 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. The problem has never been the tile. It has always been the grout. Traditional grout lines collect stains, bacteria, and grime, and they can be nearly impossible to keep looking clean no matter how much you scrub. And here is something anyone who has lived with tile countertops knows all too well. When you spill liquid on the surface, it follows the grout lines right over the edge, down the cabinet face, and onto the floor. It funnels and drips in a way that a solid surface never does. If you had tile in the 1980s or 1990s, you know exactly what years of grout deterioration looks like, and you know that regrouting rarely solves the problem long term. The good news, large format porcelain tiles, up to 36 by 72 inches, with heat-resistant epoxy grout have dramatically improved this. Much thinner grout lines, much better stain resistance. If you love tile but hated the grout, modern large format options are worth a serious look. Cost remains affordable at $10 to $80 per square foot. Laminate, more practical than it gets credit for. Laminate gets dismissed unfairly in design content. Yes, brand name Formica is only rated to about 275 degrees Fahrenheit for short periods, and generic laminates can show damage at even lower temperatures. It scratches from sharp objects and seams can separate with moisture. But here's the truth. Many of you have had laminate for 20 or even 25 years, and it still looks fine because you used your kitchen sensibly. Most of us grew up with Formica, and our kitchens work just fine. The real limitation is repairability. A burn mark, deep scratch, or peeling seam cannot be fixed. You replace it. That is the trade-off for the lowest cost on this list, often just $10 to $40 per square foot installed. If countertops are eating your budget away from cabinets, appliances, and flooring, laminate lets you invest where it matters most. There is no shame in a smart budget decision. Granite, tried, tested, and still excellent. Granite scores 6 to 8 on the MOHS scale depending on its mineral composition and handles. Heat up to about 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. You can set a hot pan on granite without a second thought. It needs annual resealing, but that is simple. And if damage occurs, granite is one of the easier natural stones to repair. Some may think granite looks dated, and the brown speckled granites from the early 2000s have fallen out of fashion. But there are hundreds of varieties that look stunning and completely current. Do not write off granite because of one trend cycle. Budget tip: ask your stone yard about granite remnants, leftover pieces from larger slabs that can be significantly cheaper for islands or bathroom vanities. The quarry origin, finish, and thickness all affect the price, so there is often more flexibility than people realize. Speaking of finishes, if you have not looked at granite recently, ask about leathered and honed finishes in addition to the traditional polished look. A leathered granite has a soft, textured feel that hides fingerprints and water spots better than polished, and it gives the stone a much more contemporary appearance. For those in Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, Colorado, or Nevada, granite is outstanding for outdoor kitchens because it handles direct sun, heat, rain, and temperature swings extremely well. Cost runs $50 to $200 per square foot installed. Engineered quartz, low maintenance, with one honest caveat. Engineered quartz is roughly 90 to 95% natural quartz mixed with resin binders. It is non-porous, never needs sealing, has a hardness of 7, and resists stains and scratches extremely well. No sealing schedules, no panic over spills, no special cleaners. It is also one of very few materials approved for commercial kitchen use because its surface does not harbor bacteria. The one important limitation. Because of the resin, quartz only handles temperatures up to 300 to 350 degrees. A hot pan can cause permanent discoloration, especially on light colors. A trivet is essential, and that is the one habit you cannot skip. One more honest note, quartz has become so popular that some homeowners feel every kitchen looks the same. If unique matters, consider natural stone like quartzite or granite that offer true, one-of-a-kind variation in every slab. Cost runs $50 to $150 per square foot. Quartzite. Natural beauty with real strength. Quartzite and engineered quartz are completely different materials, and it is easy to confuse them because the names sound so similar. Quartzite is a natural stone that forms when sandstone is subjected to extreme heat and pressure deep in the earth. It scores 7 to 8 on the Mohs scale, harder than granite, and handles heat well above 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It is highly resistant to scratches and chipping. What makes quartzite so appealing is that it gives you the beautiful veining people love about marble, but with dramatically better durability. It is the countertop that lets you have both the look and the performance. For anyone who wants natural stone but does not want the constant worry that comes with marble, quartzite is the answer many homeowners have been looking for. It does require periodic sealing, similar to granite, to protect against staining. One honest consideration: certain patterns like Taj Mahal quartzite have become extremely common. Just as brown granite defined the 2000s, some designers say Taj Mahal could define the 2020s. If timeliness matters, explore the full range before choosing the most popular option. Cost is premium, typically $70 to $200 or more per square foot. Porcelain slab, a remarkable material that checks every box. This is not tile. These are large, solid slabs of ultra-dense porcelain. They have a hardness of 7, and because the material is fired at temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees during manufacturing, high-quality porcelain slabs can withstand heat ranging from 1,200 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit in practical use. They are virtually non-porous, resisting stains, scratches, and UV rays, making them excellent indoors and outdoors. They give you the look of natural stone, beautiful marble veining, concrete textures, and unique patterns, with performance that surpasses most natural materials. You can set a hot pan directly on the surface without a second thought. No sealing needed, no fading in sunlight, no stain absorption, and unlike natural marble, porcelain will not etch from lemon juice or tomato sauce. For a material that does this much, it gets remarkably little attention compared to quartz and granite, and I think that is going to change significantly in the next few years as more homeowners and fabricators become familiar with it. The honest downsides. Fabrication is complex, requiring experienced fabricators for cutting, mitered edges, and undermount sinks. This is not DIY friendly, and porcelain can be somewhat brittle, so a hard impact on an edge could chip it, and that chip may be noticeable since the pattern is only on the surface. Cost runs $50 to $150 per square foot, plus potentially higher fabrication costs. Sintered stone, the most advanced countertop available today. Sintered stone is made by fusing natural minerals under extremely high heat and pressure, replicating how nature forms stone in a controlled factory environment. Brands include Dekton, Neolith, and Lapitec. It scores 7 to 8 on the Mohs scale, with Dekton specifically tested at an 8 in scratch resistance, above granite. It is completely non-porous, requires no sealing, resists virtually any kitchen temperature, and handles scratches, stains, and UV rays. It works beautifully both indoors and outdoors. One experienced homeowner who has had countertops ranging from hex tile to formica to granite, and now Dekton said sintered stone was the toughest surface she has ever used in decades of cooking, with no chipping or scorching in daily use. The honest limitations: sintered stone can be vulnerable to hard impacts on edges. Consumer reports. Testing confirmed it chipped more easily than some materials under impact tests simulating heavy pots falling. Unlike corian, a chip may be more noticeable after repair. Cost is significant. The material runs roughly $55 to $115 per square foot, but fabrication requires specialized tools, certified installers, and very careful handling during transportation and installation. One thing several viewers pointed out is that sintered stone can crack or shatter if not handled properly before it is installed, so choosing a fabricator who is certified by the manufacturer is not optional with this material. It is essential. All of that adds to the total project cost. But for anyone wanting the most durable, worry-free countertop available today, sintered stone earns the top spot. Honorable mentions. 4 materials worth your consideration. Before we wrap up, I want to mention 4 materials that did not make the main countdown but absolutely deserve your attention depending on your priorities. Solid surface. Like Corian and Hymax is non-porous, stain-resistant, with nearly invisible seams, which means no places for bacteria to hide. The standout feature is repairability. Scratches and minor burns sand right out with fine sandpaper and a quick buff. Homeowners report 15 to 20 years of daily use and complete satisfaction. One viewer shared that her mother's white Corian survived 18 years of serious cooking, 5 grandchildren, and 7 dogs, including baths in the kitchen sink, and it still looks wonderful. A few cut marks over the years were handled easily. Moderate hardness means it scratches easier than quartz. Heat tolerance is moderate, so you will want trivets, and it can fade with UV exposure, so it is not ideal for outdoor kitchens. Cost is $40 to $100 per square foot. Soapstone is one of the most requested materials in our comments, and for good reason. It is naturally heat resistant. You can place a hot pan directly on it without any worry at all, and it does not etch from acids, which makes it forgiving in ways that marble and limestone simply are not. It requires periodic oiling and develops a beautiful natural patina over time. Important clarification, soapstone is soft. Only about 1 to 3 on the Mohs scale depending on its talc content, so it will pick up scratches. Most soapstone owners see that as part of its character, and minor scratches can often be addressed with mineral oil. Cost can be significant, with some homeowners reporting over $8,000 for a full kitchen, so make sure it fits within your overall budget before you commit. Stainless steel is used in every professional restaurant kitchen in the world. It is heat-proof, naturally antibacterial, easy to sanitize, and scratches buff out over time. It is also a natural conductor, which means thawing food on the surface is noticeably faster than other materials. The trade-offs are the industrial look that not everyone loves in a home kitchen and the constant fingerprints and water spots. A creative option several viewers have shared. Commercial stainless steel tabletops can be purchased very affordably and adapted as kitchen countertops or island surfaces if you are handy or know someone who is. Butcher block and wood are beautiful, warm, and wonderful for islands or baking stations, especially ones without a sink. Some cooks love wood and report years of heavy daily use with just annual oiling. Others find the maintenance exhausting, particularly around sinks where water damage is a constant concern. Wood with a high-quality industrial coating can be remarkably durable, and some professional lab environments use coated wood surfaces that hold up for decades. A standard butcher block will need regular sanding and oiling to stay in good condition. Know yourself and your maintenance tolerance before committing. For those interested in sustainable options, concrete countertops and recycled glass countertops are worth considering as eco-friendly alternatives that offer unique aesthetics while reducing environmental impact. The best countertop for your kitchen is the one that fits your life, your cooking habits, your budget, and your tolerance for maintenance. Remember, your countertop is just one part of your kitchen. Make sure it works alongside your cabinets, appliances, sink, and flooring. Do not let the countertop eat up your entire budget at the expense of everything else that makes your kitchen function well. There is no single perfect choice for everyone, but I hope this gives you the confidence to make a decision you will be happy with for years to come. If this was helpful, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It helps more people find this video, and it costs you nothing. If you are subscribed, thank you. If you are not, I would love to have you, because I have more kitchen remodel content coming that I think you will find very useful. Now, drop a comment below and tell me what countertop material you are leaning toward, and more importantly, if you have lived with one of these materials for 5, 10, or 20 years, share your experience. That kind of real-world knowledge is worth more than any review or showroom display. I will see you in the next one.